Drones, especially FPV drones, have become the main weapon of the modern battlefield, it seems. So much footage has come out from the last several years during the major conflict going on in Russia and Ukraine, and so much of it is shown the use of what FPV drones can do. They are essentially guided missiles that anyone can fly. Even me, as a 33-year-old man, have taught myself how to fly FPV in manual mode. That means there's no safety measures, there's no return to home, there's no pause and come back. If you let go of the sticks, you crash, it's over, drone's gone. So it's a skill that if I can learn, anyone can learn. With these skills, it has turned anyone who can fly an FPV drone into one of the most deadliest force multipliers on a battlefield. They are anti-personnel, they are anti-armor, they are anti-aircraft, and they're everywhere. FPV drones have truly changed the way modern battlefields are fought, especially with the conflict going on right now. And what does conflict breed? Innovation. In battles, there's something called attrition. And when the war first kicked off, there were a lot of expensive weapons floating around. A lot of javelins, a lot of Bayraktars, a lot of various high-tech, very expensive equipment that got used up fairly quickly. When you start running out of very expensive stuff, you got to resort to cheaper stuff. And that's where FPV drones filled that niche. FPV drones are very easy to make. They're very simple. When you think about it, they are essentially an electronic speed controller and 4 motors and a camera, and then you strap whatever explosive you have onto it and you fly it into something and crash it. But one of the problems with FPV drones, or most drones, is they're radio controlled. Yes, there are some variants out there that run off of something like a 4G network, meaning that it uses cell towers in order to control the drone, and that way you can extend your range, but not many. Most drones are radio controlled. Every single drone I have is radio controlled. What this means is that I have a controller that when I put an input into the controller, it then sends a message out through radio waves that the drone itself picks up and translates that into movement. That means when I push my stick forward, it's going to send that signal through the radio antenna out to the drone. The drone's going to understand that I'm telling it to go forward, go down, whatever I'm telling it to do, and it will then do so. All this radio control stuff works great when you're doing stuff for shorter range and you're not being jammed.
You just got jammed.
Because that's one of the other big things that's going on in this conflict, electronic warfare. You might have heard that term and wondered what it means. It's essentially any sort of electronic source or signal that you're using to disrupt your enemy. Most drone radio signals are very, very common. They are networks that are used in day-to-day life. And the fact that they are common means they're very easy to jam. Now, in most places, if you jam a signal, it's a huge felony. It's big prison time. It's, go to jail for quite some time, or at least pay a large amount of money to cover the fine for it. In war, a lot of these rules go out the window. If you can get any sort of one-up over your enemy, you're gonna take it. All of this has led to the topic of today's video, fiber optic FPV drones. You might have heard that term thrown around. You might have seen a video of some or wondered, what does fiber optic mean? So that's why today I want to explain a little bit about what fiber optic FPV drones are and why they're being used on the modern battlefield so much. A lot of this comes from the Defense Tech for Ukraine, or DTU. This article specifically was hosted by them, came from them. I suggest you give them a follow and see what they're all about. It's a conglomeration of people all across the world working for a good cause. So, fiber optic FPV drones, what are they? Exactly what it sounds like. They are drones that are controlled by a fiber optic cable. The same cable that might provide internet to your very house or business. It's very, very thin cable that is attached to a spool on the drone that when it flies out, it slowly pays it out. You can see how this works for yourself. Get a fishing rod if you have one, loosen up the reel, and see how easy your line will spool out. Same exact principle for these fiber optic FPV drones. When they fly, the cable spools out so it's never getting in a bind, it's never getting caught on something, because if it does, it's gonna bring the drone down, it's gonna snap the line, you're gonna lose communication with it. These drones have significantly increased range over standard radio controlled drones. Have you ever been in a car listening to your favorite AM, FM station and suddenly it starts getting all staticky and you can't even listen to it anymore. I know a lot of my audience probably doesn't even know what AM FM is at this point, and God, I'm really dating myself with this one. Those are essentially radio waves. That's why they call it a radio. You get a certain distance away from where that tower is broadcasting that signal, you're gonna lose signal from it, and everything's gonna get all staticky and scratchy. Same exact thing happens with drones. My drones generally have about a 2-3 mile or so range before they start losing signal. Not that I would ever fly it that far, FAA, don't worry. But past that, you start getting really, really bad interference between the camera and the controller itself. That information is just getting too scattered in the airwaves. It's not reaching the controller. Controller's inputs are not reaching the drone. Leads to a whole mess. Same thing happens with FPV drones. As you can see in some of this footage behind me, when the drones start getting below the tree line, they start getting too far away, they start to lose signal. Not great. With fiber optic, your range is only limited by how far of a spool you have in there. You have a hard line link between the drone itself and the controller. The other big thing about fiber optic drones is you can't jam them. Imagine you're in a room and your friend's talking to you across the room, and suddenly 5 more people come in and they start talking in your ears. You're not gonna be able to hear what your friend is saying. That's a very, very basic way of explaining how electronic warfare works. It's essentially watching out the signal, talking over the signal coming from the controller to the drone, making it so the drone can't hear what it's supposed to be doing from the controller, and the controller can't hear what the drone is sending back because there's just so much chatter going on in the airwaves. With that fiber optic line, that friend is essentially there whispering in your ear while everyone else is talking, so they can yell as loud as they want, but you can hear them perfectly. Now, it's not just range that can affect the signal degradation on FPV drones, or any sort of drone for that matter. It's also trees, cover, concealment. Radio doesn't go through solid objects very well. And that's why underwater drones, such as my ROV that I did a video on quite some time ago, have to be tethered. Because once they get under the water, that radio signal is not gonna get to them. You have to have that hard line. Same exact thing with fiber optic FPV drones. That's one of the other things that makes fiber optic FPV drones so dangerous and so deadly. Not only do they have significantly increased range, not only are they unable to be jammed, but they can also fly inside structures. There's been several videos that have come out over the last several weeks of fiber optic FPV drones blowing up bridges, or flying into buildings, flying into underground trenches, various areas that otherwise would be impossible to get an FPV drone into, because once they start getting below the horizon, once they start getting trees or buildings or whatever else in their way, they're gonna lose signal. Fiber optic FPV drones, you just go as far and wherever your line will let you go. Now, speaking of cover and concealment, that's one of the other things that makes these FPV drones so dangerous. They can fly underneath the tree canopy. I don't really have a single drone that I would want to fly underneath the tree canopy, because I know even with my good line of sight, there's so many branches in the way, the signal is going to get degraded so quick. Fiber optic FPV drones, you fly them right through the trees, which also completely obscures them from spotter drones in the air most of the time and renders them practically invisible to radar. They're perfect little stealth missiles that you won't know if they're coming until they're right on top of you. Another second deadlier way of using these drones is ambush. With fiber optic FPV drones, you can fly them out alongside a road, land them, and then just wait for one of your enemies to drive or walk by. They are all of the horror of roadside IEDs that we dealt with in Afghanistan and Iraq, but now they fly, and they're watching and they're waiting all of the time. With most drones, if you fly them out a mile or two and you land them, you're gonna lose signal immediately because you've dropped below the horizon. With fiber optic, you can sit there and leave them there as long as you want. And since they're not flying, they're not gonna be using all that much battery. So you can have them sit there for hours on end, waiting for an enemy to drive by and fly into them. It's a pretty terrifying thing to think about. How dangerous are these fiber optic FPV drones? I'm going to quote directly from the article that I got from DTU. This article is written by Jonathan Lippert, the president of Defense Tech for Ukraine. I'm going to leave the entire article and links to DTU in the description of this video to go check them out. But to talk about just how dangerous these are, quoting from the article right now, In some areas of the front, soldiers have told DTU that fiber drones make up 70% or more of the enemy's FPV drone attacks and cause more than half of overall casualties. That's not just half of the overall casualties from drones, that's half of the overall casualties in the entire battlefield. The other half can be from small arms, artillery, drone drops, tanks, you name it, half of them are from fiber optic FPV drones. That is an insane statistic. The tools for last-second use of small arms against them are improving, but are still far from reliable. There are currently no dependable defenses in widespread use against fiber optic drones beyond hiding. Think about that. The most reliable way of countering fiber optic FPV drones is by hiding. That means cowering in a trench, getting under something, and hoping that it doesn't fly and look underneath whatever you're hiding under. It means you're not even safe in your trench. Think about that. Think back to World War I, where we got trench warfare from, or at least modern trench warfare. As long as you're in your trench, you're relatively safe from at least artillery fire. Now, the trenches are more of a funnel for these fiber optic FPV drones. And even in the days before the fiber optics, you still had drones that would fly into your trench, but at least in the last couple of seconds, they would lose signal. With fiber optics, they'll fly through your trench looking for you. And if there's one drone there, there's probably a dozen more on the way. So what are some of the ways to counter these fiber optic drones? Well, first and foremost, there's point defense. We've seen the shotgun make a comeback on the modern battlefield, and suddenly skeet, duck, geese, dove hunting, those skills are in high demand. Being able to shoot something that's moving very fast, coming towards you, moving across from you, that's very much needed right now. But one of the big problems with that is if that drone is already close enough to you, where you can hit it with a shotgun, you're in potential range from the explosion. And a lot of these drones are geared for anti-personnel, meaning that they're meant to take out people. If they're already that close, we've already got an issue. The other way of taking out these drones is by cutting the fiber optic cable, and there's a lot of research that's going into that. There's so many different ideas on the table right now for countering these, but there really hasn't been a cure-all that's come out yet. So until one is found, fiber optic FPV drones will continue to dominate the modern battlefield. There are also some various technologies that are coming out to help let the soldiers on the battlefield know when a drone might be incoming, including a phone app that I also learned about from DTU. Look forward to that in an upcoming video. I'm going to come out here, I'm going to do some tests with several different drones in a couple different areas, got a couple different ranges. I just am very, very, very busy in harvest right now, and my ability to come out and film a lot of high production stuff is kind of on a pause until all of our crop is in. I appreciate your understanding. Look forward to that soon. So hopefully this mildly or extremely terrifying little video breakdown gives you a good idea of what fiber optic FPV drones are and why they're being used so much. They truly are dominating the battlefield right now, as evidenced by the half of all casualty rate that they're inflicting, and they're only going to get worse. So look forward to that, I guess. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you go give DTU some love. Follow them on Facebook, follow them on YouTube, follow them on all the various social medias, and in the very least, you'll keep up to date on what's going on in the world of drones and the modern battlefield. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you next time.